Welcome to Tracial 9. Blessings and blessings and blessings. It is good to be here, and we are going to dive right in. Today's Soul Sunday, and usually on Soul Sunday we do some breath work and we do a little bit of a meditation, a little bit of a guided meditation, and I walk you through that. And this to me is part of the meditation right now. Part of the meditation is just getting in your mind, getting out of your mind. Even you can be in your mind, but you be in your mind as the observer, right? As if you're watching a movie, and begin to practice being in that state of mind of I'm the observer here. I am the observer of all of these things that are happening. And I purposefully left some stuff on my bed, and I have this set up for a reason. That reason is that the goal is to obviously, be presentable, but the goal is to get out a video, put out a video, produce a video, and plan it and get it done. At least like when I have that free time. So the weekends are for Tracial 9. They are dedicated for Tracial 9, and they're also dedicated for family time. But it's how do you fit all that in there, right? How do you fit all this in there? Is at the first of this, at the beginning of all this, you're probably going to be pumping a lot of videos out, right? So if you're someone who is a creative and wants to do this, right, and you can apply this to anything. I'm using me as an example because this is my real life. So you plug in where you need to plug in to what it is. It could be anything. It could be cooking a dish or organizing your tools or whatever it may be. And so with all of these things going on, how do I still be creative? How do I still be creative? How do I successfully put out and do the goal in which I set out to set and to complete? So that's that. So Soul Sunday, and I'm going to be editing this. So that's just what it is. Maybe I won't edit it. A lot of the reason why I wanted to begin to record video is to critique myself, because I have to edit it. So I'm looking at it over and over and over and over and over, critiquing all the things and getting better and better. Every time I jump on here, I'm getting better and better. One little step, one baby step. And that's just what it is. So I have my notes. I like to write my notes down. I like to actually use a pen. I love using pen and write my notes because it I believe, I don't know how true this is, but for me, what works is it helps me like remember better what I wrote down, and it seals it, right? There's more concrete to it. So anyway, right, that's just my personal that's my process. Be so grounded though. Be so grounded in your purpose. Be so grounded in the area in which you are called to be in. Be grounded in that. I'm not saying give all of that your attention and then forsake everything else, you dig, and forget about everything else. I'm not saying that. At first it might feel like that. It might actually be like that. And so for right now, I have the opportunity to do this. I have the opportunity to be able to record. I have the opportunity to be able to meet with people and to text people and to get on a call with somebody and just mentor them and coach them and help them facilitate an idea that they have, right? That's basically it. And so be so grounded, and then be grounded in who you are. I said this before, be grounded in who you are. You have to be so grounded that nothing can shake you. Nothing, nobody, nothing, no circumstance, no situation, nothing can shake. Not even yourself, not even the fact that like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm sweaty. I'm tired. It's Sunday. It's my day off. I don't want to work. I don't want to blah, 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 blah. Whatever excuse that you're making, right? Whatever that excuse is, You have to be grounded in who you are. I know who I am. I know exactly where I want to go, and I know where I'm going. I know how to get there. And if I don't, I'm going to learn along the way. I will learn along the way, and I have, right? And so be grounded in whose you are. Whose do you belong to? Understand, I said this before. You are the 8,000th generation person to come along in your lineage, right? And so all of those people before you, they worked extremely hard to get so that I can have this, right? And then now what I do is I reverse engineer that thing and look back and what did they do that worked and didn't work? Okay. What do they do that worked and what do they do that didn't work? And the way I apply one thing is the way I can apply all things in my life, right? I just adjust it, right? And as a man, I've noticed that I have to be grounded. I have to be like those big old redwood trees or a huge oak tree, right? You see that tree? I don't know where exactly it is, but you can drive your car through it. They've cut out a road and you can go and drive your whole car through that thing, right? So strong that wind and the natural environment can't even knock it down, right? And so even as like petrified wood, right? To become that just solid wood where you're almost a rock, right? You're a rock and you're a solid rock. Be so grounded to who you belong to. Who do you belong to, right? And so you have to understand that as a man, you're going to have to get grounded in that, right? I am grounded in my relationship. I am grounded in my my duty, right? And I don't mean duty as like I have to do this because I'm being forced to it. There's no one forcing me to be the spiritual person that I am. There's no one to force me to lean on the solid rock. Right? There's no one making me do that, right? I understand certain things. I've always been this way. Always. Before there was cameras, this and that. I've always been this way. So we fall off. I get that. We fall off. But you got to get back up. You got to get back on. Okay? No matter what. Don't be moved and swayed too easily to not get back on your game and get back on your purpose and get in tune, get linked, get bonded, right, with God. You're gonna have to find that out. You're gonna have to make that happen. Okay, whatever you need to do, you dig? No more excuses. All right, no more excuses. And what fascinates me the most about this topic is it's when I began, when I took the step. When I took a step, I just took a step. I made a decision. You dig? I made this decision. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to love my wife. I'm going to be every time I wake up, I decide to be in this relationship every single day. Every day. What would I do? What would I do if this was the beginning? What would I do if this was the start? How would I interact? How would I act? And so take a step. Take any step. Okay? Do one push-up if it's about working out and your health. You dig? Remove soda, right? If you can't move your soda, just drink it once a day. Then drink it once a day. You may go 7. I'm going to go 7, right? I'm going to take it back 6 days. Then the next day, I'm going to take about 5. I'm just going to keep going down and down and down to where you just I don't know if that even makes sense, but you figure it out, right? Whatever you need to do in order to get that solidified, and I had to do the same thing. Okay. I do drink soda. I drink a little bit of soda here and there, but it's not a daily thing. Okay. Cause it didn't make me feel good. Right. And so then that's my measurement. That's how I can judge what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. My body will tell me. You dig? It wasn't until I became all those things. Okay. And how do you do that? Just decide that today, this is what I'm going to do. Write it down straight up right now. I am going to barbecue after this call or after this video. Sorry, I'm sitting here banging the desk. Write it down. Now, it's for me, this is what works for me. Real simple. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to barbecue after this, right? I might do some lunch. I might edit some stuff too. So I know that that's what I'm going to do. I use Trello, right, to help me guide, and I use a what do you call that? Media calendar, right, to assist in this process. Okay, so be grounded. It's funny because I'm saying all this. The main idea is really be grounded spiritually, be grounded with my Creator, be grounded with God, right? All the other stuff is just really fluff, and what it is it's a vehicle for my purpose, right? And it's also the things that I've set out to do, what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be in radio. I've talked about this extensively on my podcasts. I've always wanted to be in radio. I always wanted to be a DJ, always. And so I have to go out, right? Imagine, right, me wanting to be a DJ, but I'm just always talking about it, or I'm always looking at it. And I'm not, I'm always just like, oh, okay, let me look. Oh, okay, look. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really doing anything. I had to save up the money. I had to go down to Guitar Center. I had to purchase a mixer and turntables. Then I had to get records. Then I had to get needles, right? I had to ask some questions, right? What's the best one? There was different types, right? I went for longevity, so I got the 1200 techniques. And so with those 1200 techniques, I still have them in my life. And it's funny because I actually gave mine away. I actually donated my 1200 techniques. At one point in time in my life, I got rid of everything as a DJ. I sold, gave away for free 1,200 techniques, 2 of them. 3 of them, actually. 3 of them. And my old self, of course, wants to go back and like, oh, that was a mistake. You know what I mean? But I got back to, from some DJ in Fremont. And then I got one from a friend just gave me one. So I have 2 now. It's a white one and a black one. And so, but I had to physically go out and be that. I had to go out and do that. Then I had to get a gig and all these different things, blah, 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 blah. And I actually had to do these things in order to become a DJ. I didn't become a DJ by just looking at YouTube. I didn't even have YouTube or social media when I was getting involved in that. And so, to become this person that I am today, it was a process. It was a process of being grounded, right? Being grounded. I talked about this in another podcast where I was talking about roots and how roots will anchor that tree. That roots will anchor that tree, and those roots will anchor the tree, and the roots will also find nutrients for that tree, for life. It will pull from the sources that it needs to pull from in order to get nutrients. You dig? And something that simple can motivate somebody, can motivate a man to do something amazing and great in this day, today, right? And so it wasn't until as I was soaking up all this information, right, I read. I did a lot of reading. Something that I'm not good at and something that I don't like to do. I don't like to read. And in high school and college and whatever the case may be, but now I'm addicted to it because I once I went to college and I remember sitting in class going, man, all we do is get books. That's all we do. Every class except for my math class. For math, I only had one book or whatever. But for all the history and the English and the group counseling, this and that, I had 5 books in one class one time. And all you're doing is going on Amazon to buy that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why don't I just do that? You know? And then why don't I, in the future, once I get really good at this, why don't I begin to just discuss these books with other people that are reading the same book or different books that are related? You dig? And so, grounded, embodiment. I, instead of and just reading that information, just getting that information and then just reading it and getting it, I had to do something. That imagine like a doctor just read, but didn't apply it. He or she can't say that they're a doctor until they go through the courses, till they go through whatever steps they are, whatever all those, they have to go through all those steps. That's a given. We know that. Even if you don't have a brain cell and you're like, well, I got to get to the game, you know what I'm saying? I got to get to the sports games and stuff like that. There's a process to get to that. I don't know why I use that as an example in that voice, but anyway, you get the point. There's a process. You got to wait in line. You got to get your ticket. You got to wait in line, and then you got to get into this other line to get into the thing, and then you got to get this. If you want food, you got to get in this line. If you want to go over there, if you want to go to the bathroom, you got to go in that line. If you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? But all this information that I was taking in, I had to embody it. I had to become that. I am that. You know, I was reading about, and I actually took a class on this. I took a class at Cisco Technologies in the Bay Area. We were it was a speech class, and so a guy came in for 8 hours, and a guy and a woman came in and gave us all these things to do, and we had to speak, and we had to learn how to enunciate. And I'm 47, I'm still learning that. And when you're on camera, it's easy because you can see yourself and you can see what's going on, you know. At the same time, I had to, what if I just got that information? Does that make sense? And I see a lot of young people right now that are like 18 to like 30 even. That's not really, you should know some, but they're just not knowing. They don't understand how to embody the information that they're getting and to take these things seriously. So many people are wrapped up in the pleasure mode. I was just doing the same thing. I'm so wrapped up in pleasure that I can't, pleasure didn't really create that proper habit. Okay. Pleasure didn't create the habit. I'm not saying don't have pleasure. Please have pleasure. I love pleasure, but it's not the focus, right? It's not the focus when I am trying to get somewhere, when I'm trying to do a work. It is not the focus, right? So yeah, you dig. I know you understand. Yeah, and that's really what the talk is about today, is being grounded in just who you are as a man. I have a heart for men in terms of like heart for married men that have children, right? In terms of I know what it's like. I know what it is. You know, I know what it is. I know what those feelings are. I've felt a lot of those feelings of, you feel trapped at times, right? You feel like you're like, man, did I make the right decision in even being married, right? And those thoughts, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to act on those thoughts, but what I'm saying is that you've had those thoughts. I've had those thoughts. There's a lot of men that feel stuck. They feel stuck in their marriage, not necessarily with that person per se, but they feel stuck because they had an agenda, right? They had a certain purpose, or they wanted to do something. They wanted to go somewhere, but they never really discussed it with that person before. So then they get married, and then they find out, oh, I want to do this, but then you find out this other person doesn't really want to do that. They don't want to move here. They don't want to go over here. They don't want to this, and that. And so now they feel stuck. So they feel stuck in that way, right? And so, you know, I believe my purpose is to help men. I really do believe that purpose is extremely strong, and it's to help men that are like me. I know I cannot be the only one. I hope not. I hope not. But if I am, If I am the only one, that is okay, man. That is okay if I'm the only one. I'm good with that, man. But when I was coming up, when I was coming, I say when I was coming up, in terms of when I decided, there's that word again, decide. When I decided I wanted to change, I knew I had to change. I knew I had to be doing something different. You dig? Like, I have to do something. If I'm, as sports, right? Little League, right? We'll go back to Little League. If I was missing a ball, I'm like, man, why am I missing a ball, man? This is crazy. I see the ball, but I'm not making contact. This is frustrating. So now the coach from a distance, right, sees something. Imagine that, right? You in your mind pick your sport, okay? Pick your activity that you had a coach, right? And so it was just Little League, so I was young, but still I remember these things. These things have stuck with me, man. I honestly can't forget them. I don't remember a lot of stuff, but from what my coaches have told me, I have to apply that even today. And I live off that. I live off those things. And so it was like, if I'm missing, I'm like, man, coach, I would have to I don't know what I'm doing wrong, man. I must be doing something wrong. All right, well, here's what I see. And then what would happen is they would okay, take a swing. All right, they look at me, okay, I see where the issue is. Adjust this, right? Take another swing. And that adjustment had to be in the next swing. You see that? That adjustment had to be in the next swing. And so what he did was he was like, okay, I saw that swing again. That same adjustment has to be in the third swing and the fourth swing and the fifth swing. Then he's like, oh, I see something else that's wrong. Something else you can adjust. You dig? And so I would swing with that adjustment in the pivot or in the foot with the step or something. Maybe I was stepping sideways. Maybe I was stepping out, whatever. Okay, now you're doing that properly. You got that down. Let's continue to work on that. But I noticed that your elbow is all tucked in like this. So let's raise that elbow up just a little bit. Right? Now he stand back and swing again. Go ahead. Swing again. Okay, cool. With that second adjustment, now you're back to, you're on 5 on that one adjustment, but you're on 1 on that other adjustment. You see, you follow with me? You tracking with me? So every move with every adjustment, every step, use that adjustment. Same, okay, I'm pivoting, boom, whatever it is, right? Video games, okay? You're in a video game and you're going, we'll pick something easy. Like, I don't play video games, so I'm just like, what did I actually play? Duck Hunt. I played Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers, like the old school first one, right, on Nintendo. And so you'd be playing, right? You'd be playing, and then you die. You're like, oh, I know what I need to do. I did that. Oh, shoot, it worked. Okay, boom, you fail. Okay, go back to and you know how you had to go back a little bit. Sometimes you started where you are, but you had to go back just enough to get back to that point, right? Same thing is what I'm talking about. The same thing. So it's the passion and the stories I'm hearing from men is the reason why, right? Is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And so I just want to give you that value. This is free value, right? This is free value. This is, if you apply just some of the, if you can listen to this and look at this and get one thing out of that and then apply that adjustment, boom, you're good, right? Then move on to the next step, right? Boom. Building blocks as you get better and grow and stuff. Anyway, Trey Show 9, Sundays. We didn't do the guided meditation, but that was kind of, I shifted gears. It's okay. We'll implement a guided meditation at a different time. Maybe next week or something like that. Maybe next Sunday in the next podcast. But Trey Show 9, peace. I'm out. My name is Mark Augustine, and you are amazing. You are great. Love you, and we'll see you soon.